Welcome back, everybody. It's been quite a while since I've done a video on the channel, and it was time to take a little break. I went really hard during October, November, and December, and it was time to just take a little bit of a break from the vlog style videos, but we're gonna go ahead and ramp them back up. And all week I was looking forward to shed hunting, and I was excited about the weekend because a few of our good deer had shed, HLB had shed, and that's something that I'm gonna go over in this video, the deer that we're gonna be looking for, the antlers. And guess what? We got a bunch of snow. So it pretty much ruined my Saturday of shed hunting. I'm not gonna go out and look for sheds when there's snow on the ground, and I might miss some. So I don't want to, backtrack the same areas I've already looked. So that sucks. But in this video, I'm gonna talk to you about some of the deer that we're gonna be looking for, like I just said, and we got some wood to cut and some trees that I'm gonna go ahead and cut down in Cherry Ridge for firewood that are kind of just nuisance trees that are starting to die. Some big maple trees that are taking up a lot of the light. We're gonna get some more light down into the canopy and get some new growth under there. So my dad just got my saw all tuned up, got a new bar, new chain, new sprocket. This thing is ready to roll. This thing will cut like an animal now. So we're gonna test it out here. My tires on my Honda here go flat every day because they're pretty much bald. I need new tires, unfortunately. But this little Pioneer 1000 watt portable power station is perfect for this. I hooked that little thing up and boom, they're charged up and filled with air. Okay, this is the big maple right here. You can see how it's pretty much all dying up top. There's been a bunch of limbs falling out, so we're gonna just go ahead and drop this thing, and we're gonna get it cut for firewood, and this will create a lot more light to get in here on the ridge and have a lot more new growth. So let's get after it. Oh, there we go. Well, we got a lot of this stuff cut up. I just cut till I ran out of fuel in the chainsaw, but these pieces right here are so big that, I can go all the way in from this side and all the way in from the other side, and I still can't reach the middle. So what I have to do is bring some wedges and pound the wedges. I think I've got it close enough that if I get a wedge in there, I can pop them away from each other. But I tell you, there's a lot of wood in this maple tree right here. A lot of wood in it. Well, we got one load on the Honda here. That certainly isn't as fun as shed hunting like I was planning on this weekend, but gives me a good opportunity to get some stuff done that if I was shed hunting that I wouldn't be doing. So good stuff. Welcome back, everybody. We are going on a little shed hunt this afternoon. So far this year, I found one shed, and this is it. It was laying right under a scrape that I had below the barn that I was checking the trail camera at. and there it laid. So that's the first one on the year. I'll show you the video from that one right now. Well, I was down here checking some trail cameras. There's a gator path right here, and I've got a trail camera set up over this scrape. See the licking branch? There's a scrape, and right there next to the scrape is the first shed of 2023. And it is not a whopper. There it is compared to my finger. It is the very first shed of the year. Not a very big one, but it is number one. Right here in a scrape. Good find nonetheless. But obviously everybody's wondering about HLB, I'm sure. HLB shed last week. I could see that he had both antlers, then he had one, and then it looked like you know, two big pedestals, and I think he shed both of them. My neighbor Carl has been down looking for him a lot this week. We had some nice weather, and he wasn't able to find them, and I figured they would be down on his in the creek bottom somewhere, but unfortunately he didn't find them, and I'm gonna go down there and do some looking this week and see if I can find them. Who knows? They've got to be there somewhere, but right now I'm just behind the house. There's a couple bucks in here. There's a buck that I named Swagger. It's a deer that's a 3.5-year-old buck. He's a little 3.5-year-old buck. I actually let him walk in Cherry Ridge this year, and I have both his sheds from last year. And he walks with kind of a weird swag to him, like his back end, like his hips are stiff. That deer sheds are going to be right in here somewhere. And then there's another buck that I call Rover that actually during rifle season I videoed out right below the house here. He's been all over the place, and I think he shed his antlers back here too. So those are kind of the two targets. There's a couple big 6 points that were running around in here too that should be, their horns should be here somewhere, but we'll go ahead and look around and see what we can find. One thing I always do is turn on my tracker so I know where I've been on Onyx. So now I'm tracking so I know right where I have been and where I haven't been. So if you guys are interested in Onyx, I've got a discount code I'll put on the screen for you right now. We'll see if we can't locate a horn somewhere around here. This was a doe that was laying here last shed season. Obviously now it's just bones, but it looked to be a pretty big mature doe. This is from last year. Oh, looking at the jawbone, she doesn't look too old. I don't know how she died, but she died. Well, I could see this chunk of hair from a ways back and came over here, and there's our first dead deer of the spring. Just a tiny little fawn that obviously didn't make it. Just a really tiny little bugger. I mean, look at it compared to my hand. Just didn't have what it took to make it through a little bit of harsh weather. It was, I mean, honestly, it was a really, really easy winter. So I didn't anticipate finding many winter kill deer at all. But that one was so little that not even a harsh winter took it out. Still no horns yet. I've gone a little over 2 miles now with no success in the shed compartment. I want to throw my theory by you guys and see if you guys would tend to agree or not. I think that this year shed hunting is going to be a lot more difficult around here than years past, with it being such an easy winter. You know, normally when you have not that we've had an extremely harsh winters lately, but you know, at least we've had a decent amount of snow during the shedding period. This year was a different story. You know, these bucks have been shedding the past month here, and it hasn't been cold or snowy at all, so they've been really a lot more spread out across a lot wider area than ever before. Normally when these deer are shedding, you know, it's pretty simple. They're on food and they're close to food and bedding, and their travel corridors are very easily picked out. Whereas this year, you know, they're on the food, but they don't need the food. They kind of got food everywhere. You know, there's browse everywhere. So what that means is they're not dialed in on the food, and you don't have that huge concentration of deer on the food source, or like, you know, that wintering of all the deer where they herd up and really hit the food hard. So I think it's just going to be tougher this year. You know, these antlers are going to be spread a lot farther distances across a lot more ground than ever before. So that's just my theory. I think I'm not trying to make excuses for myself not having a good shed year, but I think that's kind of the case here as to how it's going to go. Obviously the main goal is to locate HLBs. That's really the one deer that I want to find. Obviously the shed hunting legend Paul is gone. He was killed this year during rifle season by a really lucky hunter, and so we won't be picking up another year's of his sheds, which is good, especially for the hunter. That was an awesome 5.5-year-old buck. So there's still some horns to look for out here. We'll keep looking. As you guys can see, I'm back at the house, and I struck out in the shed department today. I walked a little over 3 miles with no luck. Like I said while I was walking, I think this year is going to be really tough just because of the mild winter, and these deer are really spread out. And I think this is a year that you could find sheds literally anywhere. You know, places that you've never found sheds before, this is a year that you'd be able to do that, just because they're not, you know, concentrated on food sources and bedding close to that food. So it's going to be a difficult year, but this is just the start, and we've got lots of shed hunting to go. I do want to throw a clip on here of my buddy's son finding his first shed today down in the creek bottom. It's pretty cool. So we'll finish this video up with that video, and thanks for watching, everybody. We'll have lots more shed hunting to come soon.
Keep walking. Pick it up. Nice. Look at that. Good job. Show me. Very nice. Is that your first shed, CJ?